Hello everyone on this fine Halloween night, or as close to Halloween as you're going to get. This is the Halloween episode of the Video Game Vibes podcast. You're here with me, PatriotJax, and of course, my good friend Grog Games. I'm going to stop talking in a low tone to make it sound spookier.
That was a crow. Hey, Pod, what's up? It's me, Grog Games.
We'll just edit in some creepy sounds.
You like that ASMR in the beginning, the creepy ASMR? Hey, it's scary season. I hope everyone's having
How are we doing, guys?
A lovely scary season. I feel like I haven't watched as many scary movies as I should have at this point, Jax. We're halfway through October. And at
the time of recording.
Peek behind the proverbial curtain. We're halfway through October at the time of recording here, so I feel like I should have watched more horror movies or just Halloween movies at this point in time. But yeah, I don't know. Jax, last night. I guess a couple things to talk about, Halloween related. Have you seen? I feel like you should have seen this because it's been out for a long time. Coraline, the animated movie.
Funny enough, I actually haven't.
Really?
But I've only I've only heard good things about that.
Yeah.
And the references and stuff in that as well, like the Easter eggs and all that in Coraline's meant to be really good as well.
No, I was in the same boat. I saw it for the first time last night. It was one of those movies that I just had never seen. My wife said she watched it without me like a couple years ago, and I just don't know where I was. But I watched it last night for the first time. I was entranced. I was amazed. Like, it was such a good story. I had seen like a bunch of like TikToks about it, so I've seen like different like cuts of scenes and stuff like that and characters, but I didn't really know what the story was so much. And I don't want to give a play-by-play. I don't want to. You guys just should go watch the movie if you haven't. But I was pleasantly surprised. I love a good like children's scary movie, and that movie is like some of the imagery, dude, is creepy for children.
Is it Tim Burton?
I don't think it's Tim Burton, no, but it's Tim Burton-esque. The style is very similar, but no, I don't think it's Tim Burton. I can check, but I very much enjoyed it. Another thing, I don't know if you've seen it. It just came out on Netflix this week. The Fall of the House of Usher.
Yes, I was.
You heard about
telling
that?
My wife, I was like, we need to. It's like another one in the Haunting of Hill House universe, I think. Done by, is it Mike Flanagan?
Yes,
does them all?
Mike Flanagan did that. I don't know if it's
a lot of similar actors across the three series.
Yeah, I don't know if it's related, but yeah, it's by the same guy. I watched the first 2 episodes, and it was very scary.
It's already out.
It was very scary. I've heard it's less scary, at least from the ones that I saw. It's less scary compared to The Haunting of Hill House. Because I heard Haunting of Hill House, there's a bunch of jump scares and stuff, right? Did you watch that one?
That's really good, yeah. That was one of my favourite shows, I think, that I've watched, at least in recent years.
Yeah.
Bly Manor was very not as good.
Oh, really?
I thought Bly Manor was not disappointing, but it was not anywhere near as good as Hill House, for sure.
Yeah, I heard good things about that as well. And for you podcast listeners, if you didn't know at this point in time, I'm a scaredy cat, so I don't watch a lot of horror stuff. I'm trying to expand my horizons little by little. But so this was a big step for me watching that. But it wasn't as scary as some other stuff that I've seen. But yeah, Jax, you're gonna love it. It's very. I was enthralled. Like, that's how good it was. Was like I started watching it, and even though like I was scared and I didn't want to watch it because it's technically a horror show, I was like, oh, this story is really interesting, and it's based off of an Edgar Allan Poe poem, which I had no idea.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
I did not know that.
I think you're gonna love it. I heard a couple people say that it's like the best thing that Netflix has ever made. So we'll see if you can agree with those people.
I was gonna say, I mean. That's kind of high praise.
It is high praise.
But I've got next week off work.
The whole week?
My wife. And
nice.
Yeah. We take half term off, so she's off because she's a teacher.
Gotcha.
And we were like, oh, we'll go to the cinema one time. and we used to watch horror like a lot, like when we were first together.
Yeah.
Even though she wouldn't like it, we would see like Annabelle, and
oh no,
she would struggle to watch it. I tend to enjoy them, but I've said to her, I was like, please, and I think it's out next week. I really said to her, I was like, please, can we go see Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yes.
And she's really not up for it.
What? Why not?
I'm going to try and convince her to go and see it, because I really, really want to go and see it. But I was just going to say, just on that, it's just giving me a little nod, because have you watched the very creepy trailer for Markiplier's Iron Lung?
I watched it last night, and my wife was asleep, and I was like, for a second, I thought that she was gonna wake up and be like, "What the heck are you watching?" And I was like, "It's just Markiplier's trailer," but I didn't know. I'm surprised he put that on his channel, because it seems like a little intense for I mean, he's not a kid's channel, but still, you get my point.
Like,
his brain needs still,
bro,
the
bro was bathed in blood.
Yeah,
it was a very cool trailer, and I'm really excited to see it, because to the point I've still not watched or played Iron Lung, and I plan on playing it at some point. But this was just another sort of link to something I was just going to briefly mention, is that I've been playing another game by that same developer who made Iron Lung.
I saw you tweeted about this, yeah.
So I'm playing through Dusk, which is a sort of a retro. It's a retro style action horror shooter. So it's sort of like Quake and sort of like Doom and stuff like that, but it's got its sort of horror elements. And I've been really impressed with it, given the fact that I'm not, like, I used to play Quake back in like a long time ago, but like those sorts of games now I don't tend to go to. And the reason I've gone to it is because it's got some very sort of interesting lore that sort of delves into like Lovecraft, like H.P. Lovecraft stuff, like Craftian horror.
Okay.
And I was just like, so it led me down sort of a rabbit hole about this particular prose poem by H.P. Lovecraft about this particular creature. So it was very interesting, and I'm doing like a whole video on that. I'm just struggling to get the time. I'm hoping to get it out by Halloween, but I was really surprised that it had that, because the game itself sort of has next to no sort of narrative, if you like. It's kind of like, oh, there's a cult, you're the good guy, you've been captured, you got to just blow everyone up, basically.
Yeah,
and that's
Doom-esque,
but yeah. There is more to it as you sort of delve a bit deeper, and I've been really impressed with that. And like I said, it's the same guy that did Iron Lung, David Szymanski.
Yeah,
I think the developer's name.
Yeah, well,
yeah. And the guy that did the audio, like the soundtrack for Dusk, is also doing the soundtrack for Iron Lung. I think it's Andrew. I want to say his surname correctly, like Horshalt. It's Andrew something. Yeah. In Markiplier's Iron Lung tweet, he credits the guy who's done the soundtrack for Iron Lung.
Yeah, I'll look it up. It's on the screen now, Jax. Don't you worry about it. I was just saying, like,
good indie developers and stuff like that, and I'm really excited for Iron Lung as well.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, not only Markiplier's first movie, but one that's based off of an indie background. I think it's going to be very impressive. And I was a little prepared because I knew it's supposed to be an ocean of blood, but I still didn't expect the trailer to be like that. So, yeah, I got to play that game. You said you're going to have a video that's coming out with it that you're hopefully going to get done?
I'm hoping to get it out by Christmas.
By Christmas?
By Halloween. Yeah, I want it out by Halloween, obviously, because it's slightly spooky.
Yeah.
Albeit not like your conventional horror game, if you like. It's also got that link to Faith, my game.
Right. I was gonna ask you, because I thought we had talked about that like a while back. It's canonically in the same universe as Faith?
It is. Yeah, technically.
What?
By like, there's just one little photo or note that you see in Faith kind of connects the two universes together, which is kind of cool.
Oh.
I do like it because they're all by the same publisher, which is New Blood Interactive. They do good stuff. Yeah, I need to play some more of this. But this is slightly off topic, and we can cut this bit out.
Oh, okay.
So feel free to. But I was just curious because I haven't watched it yet. Have you watched Matt Pat's latest video? Because all I've been doing is reading Twitter about
the one he just posted about why we hate his FNAF theories. I saw the thumbnail. I didn't watch it yet, though.
Oh, okay. That's fine. We'll leave that bit out. It's just because I was curious to know if you'd watched it or whatever. I was planning on watching it because it seems quite interesting. It's always interesting watching him get a bit real, I think.
Yeah, I saw the first 5 seconds and he was coming on the couch. I was like, oh no, serious Matt Pat video if he's on the couch. But are people on Twitter saying like that? I don't know. Are they saying like negative or he's complaining I think like?
No, I think for the most part, people are like he's sort of spot on with what he's saying, but obviously there are haters, and I think he's. I don't know exactly. I haven't watched it, but I think he's essentially just calling them out in a way and using examples and stuff like that.
Well, that's good.
But I say that's neither here nor there. We'll see how it progresses, maybe.
I'll watch it, and maybe we'll talk about it next time on the pod. I'll probably leave this in, but yeah, no, I mean, we've talked about Matt Pat before. I enjoy Matt Pat. I don't think he's doing anything wrong. Yeah, sometimes maybe he's a little cringe, but most of us are. So,
I mean, you got to do what you got to do on YouTube.
He's grinding, man.
More importantly, today, the special horror episode of the Video Game Vibes podcast, we are talking about creepypastas and their video games.
Yes.
My dude, would you like to kick us off with one on your list?
Yes.
Like to brief us?
So, we are just going to talk, I think we're going to open it up with one of my favorites, because it was the first game that I have ever played in my life. So when I heard this creepypasta, I immediately thought, oh my gosh, if this were true, that would change my whole childhood, essentially. And of course Can
I guess it? Sorry, can I guess it? Because it's the first game you've ever played.
Go ahead and guess it.
Okay. If it's the first game you ever played, and you're like a bit younger than me, but like not much.
We're the same age.
So it means that you would have grown up in the SNES and the NES era, because you would have had Nintendo consoles because you're American, whereas I had the Mega Drive.
That's facts. Yep.
Is it that NES creepypasta about that weird? I forget what game it is, but it's like a red, lava monstery thingy.
No, but I think that's on our list to talk about. Yeah. No, I was of course going to talk about the Lavender Town syndrome from Pokemon Blue. Pokemon Blue is the first video game I ever played in my whole life.
Oh my word!
God, how old was I? I must have been like 8 or something like that. But my dad bet me something. I don't even remember what the bet was, but when we were kids, he used to bet us for some reason. It was just stupid stuff. We had a little basketball hoop, and he'd be like, I bet you can't do 100 baskets in a row. And I'd be like, okay, and if I do, then I'll get a Game Boy Color with Pokemon Blue. And that's what happened.
Oh my
and then
God,
I got
man.
Pokemon Blue, and
oh dang,
beautiful times. He stopped betting us because we kept winning, because we were kids and he might have let us
victims of your own success.
Yeah, pretty much. But for those of you that don't know the Lavender Town syndrome, it's a little creepy. So I'm gonna read a little bit about it here. So Lavender Town is a town in the first generation of Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, all those gens. And there was a creepypasta that was essentially, if you heard the tune of Lavender Town, because whenever you go to a new town, they change the music. It's nice, arcadic style of I'm on this route, now the music kicks in, different music. This is supposed to be the creepiest town in the game, because they had a tower that was essentially, what's that tower called? It's not the Poke Tower, is it, Jax? Sorry, putting you on the spot.
Like, I honestly, it's been this long. I can't actually remember what the
they essentially had a graveyard as a building. Is all that you need to know.
Yeah, no, it's essentially like the creepy town where all the ghost Pokemon are, because there's a graveyard and all that sort of stuff, and you've likely heard the tune or a remix or some version of it once in your life. Yeah. You would have done. Pokemon is
iconic,
incredibly mainstream at this point. But it's the original version had an effect, apparently, according to this creepypasta.
Apparently, it had an effect. But it essentially, if you heard it, and once again, this is all children hearing it because they're children playing these games. They would essentially unalive themselves or get sick if you heard the Lavender Town theme song. So let me just read a couple lines here. It says, rumors say these unalives and illness only occurred after the children playing the game reached Lavender Town, whose theme music had extremely high frequencies that studies showed that only children and young teens can hear since their ears are more sensitive. So the creepypasta goes that these frequencies, adults couldn't hear it, it was fine, unaffected, but it was like this weird frequency level where it did something to your brain where you just thought negatively. Which is horrible.
Do you know what helped? Do you know what helped back up this this really good creepypasta was the fact that they, of course, for the next generation, when you could still go to Lavender Town, they changed the music slightly. So and people wondered, was that because that the original version had this high frequency that led to these potential complications for children, as should we say? Which I thought it's a good creepypasta. I gotta say, I think it's very good. Maybe you can hear the music right now if Grog Games, who's editing this video.
Yeah, let me give you all a little taste. Here's let's just chill. Here's 20 seconds of the Lavender Town theme.
20 seconds. That seems like a lot.
Well, just sit here and listen to the Lavender Town. Maybe I put it in the last 20 seconds. All right, you've heard enough. Anyway, I've always thought that was a great creepypasta, just because
it is a good one. It sort of hits a bit of like realism, and it studies show and stuff like that. Like it's got that. It's a perfect creepypasta, I think, and Pokemon always has like a good number of creepypastas, and obviously there's loads of fan games that are spawned from stuff like that, and it's got good lore. It's a good one. And
I feel like they, just to go off topic just for a second, the Pokemon games definitely not monopolize, but they take advantage of some of those like subtle horror stuff. Like, Jax, you never played the 5th gen. Never mind, I was gonna do a reference. But they do like in the 5th gen. I think it's the 5th gen, right? 5th or 6th gen.
Who is it? What Pokemon?
It's X and Y. Is that Gen 5? That's Gen 5.
I think so. Yeah.
There's this one like Easter egg where you go into this office building and then you go up this elevator and then there's like this like woman there and like you look at her for a second and then she disappears and then like I think you get an item. I don't entirely remember.
And what's the item? Is it like a polka doll or something like that? It's like creepy.
I'm gonna have to look it up later after this, but people know what I'm talking about. But you essentially see a ghost straight in Pokemon, and then there's no explanations, and they always do stuff like that too. Like I don't know if you there's like a haunted house where you catch Rotom with a TV and stuff, and it's all abandoned, and then like afterwards like. You go into the house and it like looks normal and you catch it and then afterwards all the lights turn off. Like that kind of stuff happens all the time in Pokemon games. So
I mean, I think that's sort of one element, especially from like gaming related creepypastas, is that some of the best ones come from subtle creepy elements or even just like lines from a character that sort of don't fit the aesthetic and stuff of the game.
Yeah.
Like really like cozy games and like you think of stuff like Animal Crossing, stuff like that, and there's tiny subtle bits that like the internet will just pick up on and be like, oh my god, and then someone will create a creepypasta just from that and like create some sort of backstory and some lore, and that's sort of how these things happen. I think it's really cool, and I think some of the best are the ones that come from games that aren't inherently scary or creepy, which I think are really cool.
Yeah, for sure. It just like you're in the zone, just vibing, having a nice time, and all of a sudden something weird happens, and then it just shocks you out of what you thought was a normal atmosphere. But anyway, Jax, let's move on. I hear you might have one for us right here.
Let me talk about one of the originals in terms of the video games, and potentially from creepypastas, at least for as far as I am aware. Slender Man is naturally one of the biggest and oldest of creepypastas from the internet.
It is one of the OG creepypastas.
You know, and it's now at a point where there was a terrible film made by it. There has been some real world like
murders
stuff, that sort of apparently were sort of related to the Slender Man lore and stuff like that. But essentially, the Slender Man was born out of a Photoshop contest,
right?
And the challenge was posted. It was posted on like a comedy website called Something Awful, which encouraged people to take just normal photos and make them look scary by adding weird, creepy monsters or things to it. And that's where Slender Man was born. And that one just in particular just freaking blew up. And the game, like the first main game for it that really did really well, was Slender the 8 Pages.
Mm-hmm. I'm
sure everyone has either seen or played Slender the 8 Pages, and you just literally go, it's like a walking simulator, it's just going around picking up the 8 pages in a woods whilst Slender Man is trying to get you with his creepy static and tentacle arms.
I mean, it's not all walking sim, is it? Because like I have Slender Man in the 8 pages. Oh no, never mind, I do not. I have Slender the Arrival. Different Slenderman game.
I was gonna say those are different. One, yeah.
But
I think that's a good one as well.
It's similar though. I think you also get pages. So I don't know why, but anyway, it's creepy just walking around and Slenderman's there just staring at you, and like it's I don't know. The horror games do a very good job at like you not being able to defend yourself, and that's a case of like a supernatural force like Slenderman just like following you and watching you for the longest time, and as you collect these pages he gets faster and closer to you. Like I don't even think you see him until you get one page. As soon as you get the first page, then like you'll see him on like a hill way over there looking at you, and then as you get more pages he speeds up and gets closer to you. So I don't know. I just remember it being terrifying. I didn't like it, Jax.
No, it's a shame that the film was so bad. I did not see it, but I just heard it was trash, which is a shame. Don't worry. I'm sure in another indie horror film of like an iconic indie horror game that's coming out very soon will do a lot better than the Slender Man film. Just saying. Of course, I was talking about Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's what I thought you were talking about. I was like for a second.
But yeah, I wanted to mention Slender because it's one of the like originals, and I think it's one of the first kind of games that sort of blew up indie horror let's plays on YouTube as well. So it's certainly a throwback. But have you got another one that you want to talk about?
I certainly do. I would like to talk about. I guess I want to talk about this because I want to know if you have more details on it, because I read this when it was a creepypasta, but I didn't know it related to a video game too. Like I didn't know they made a video game after the creepypasta. But I just want to briefly talk about my uncle who works for Nintendo, the old creepypasta for it. Can we talk about that quick? Because like
I sort of vaguely know about it, but can you break it down for me?
Yeah,
and everyone listening.
So there's an old like creepypasta about these kids, and they're at a sleepover, and one of them says that their uncle works for Nintendo. And essentially has all these secrets for Nintendo and has like a hacked game cartridge. And then from there, like creepy stuff starts happening. But I did not know they made a game from it. And I'm seeing a screenshot right now and it looks interesting. looks like you're just like holding a candlestick and like you have like a list of like what to do, but like I think like the uncle essentially comes at the end of the creepypasta and like knocks on the door and interrupts the sleepover and like does something to the children. It's been a little bit since I read it myself, but yeah, that one was always interesting because it was like it was just like, oh, can there be like different versions of games? And I feel like that's a recurring trend in creepypastas is like, oh, I found this game in a garage sale and it's acting differently compared to like a regular cartridge of Majora's Mask.
I was about to say that literally is like Ben Drowned.
Yeah.
The Ben Drowned creepypasta that obviously was from Majora's Mask. Which was my personal favourite creepypasta.
That's a good one.
It was the one I sort of delved into the most, and I kind of annoyed that I missed a lot of the ARG part of it.
Well, remind me what the ARG part was. Like, a Reddit was going and trying to find if it was real or not?
So as I remember it, there was like 3 sort of main parts to the creepypasta. There was the original like videos on I forget the name of the channel, but there was a specific YouTube channel that played loads of random and creepy clips that were made in some sort of N64 emulated engine that allowed the creator to do all this random stuff and make it obviously look really creepy. And it told the story of someone who found a strange version of Majora's Mask, and it was doing weird things because the original owner was the kid who was Ben Drowned, and they used the Elegy of Emptiness statue as a way to showcase the original person, the Ben, if you like.
Oh right, I forgot about that part.
That's the face and whatever. So when you play the Elegy of Emptiness in Majora's Mask, it gives you that statue as Link. And it's creepy in itself. Like, Majora's Mask as a game is so inherently creepy.
It's already weird.
Like, it's weird, and it's easily one of the darker toned Zelda games. Like, they're probably the most different in terms of tone compared to the rest of the games in the franchise. And so that was pretty much the first phase, and it just focused on Ben, essentially. And then the second phase was all of the ARG stuff, because it was something to do with like the moon, and obviously the moon was the Majora's Mask. Obviously had the big moon thing. It was something to do with moon children, because in the game there was 4 children on the moon, and I can't remember what it was exactly, because that was the ARG stuff. It was on a separate website, and I know that the community had a large role in what sort of went down. And then I don't know how many years later, it could have been like 5 or 10 years later, the final part of the Ben Drowned creepypasta released.
Oh, there was that much of a gap? Why?
I believe so, yeah. There was like and then more videos, but they were much longer videos, were reappeared, and I don't know if there was still some ARG stuff in there, but it was about someone else who found the game cartridge, I believe, later after the other person who'd found it, and she was trying to essentially set the people who were within the game, essentially sort of release them. It's a whole thing. I would try and watch. Who's the guy I follow? Is it Nightmind? He's got a really good Majora's Mask creepypasta breakdown. His one's probably the best off the top of my head. You can go and watch the original videos. But yeah, it spanned like a good length of time after it sort of stopped for a while. And then the developer sort of brought it back. I think maybe due to like the community wanting to sort of see it maybe play out, like see an end, if you like, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, so it was...
That wasn't the one I was going to talk about.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was tying them in together. I feel like it was still, important to talk about. So just to clarify, so was that a resolution then? It came back after 5-10 years and then it was resolved, or it's still a thing that's going.
No, I'm pretty sure that was like the fight. That was the end. Yeah, because I definitely sort of the last video or so, or last couple of videos I watched, I reacted to it on a live stream. I remember there's like a whole playlist basically that the original creator of the Creepypasta has on his channel. So yeah, I know you previously mentioned about like how, well, I know I mentioned it as well. Some of the best creepypastas come from like non-scary games.
Yeah.
And a good example of that is one of my favourite games of all time, or like franchises to an extent, Sonic.
Oh, yes.
Everyone knows, if you've been on the internet for 5 minutes, you've probably heard of Sonic.exe. Probably one of the cringiest creepypastas.
I don't even know any, like, I've heard of it, of course, but I don't know a ton about it.
It's probably the one creepypasta that has spawned the most fan games, without a doubt. Like, there are still lore being created through new fan games.
That's funny.
But essentially, the original one is, not too dissimilar from Majora's. Someone, they found a strange CD-ROM. They got it from a friend, and it had Sonic.exe written on it.
Oh my god.
And this one I did play myself. I actually did play it. I remember I was playing it at my dad's house. I can't remember why. But you're just going through and you play as. So basically, you start off playing as Tails, and Sonic is like kind of like he's possessed, but he's like sort of essentially like he's possessed, if you like.
And he's like, and he looks scary. He's like bleeding out of his eyes.
He's got like bleeding eyes, and that's
gross.
sort of the main thing. But essentially, he kills you, and it's very short. It's very jump scary, but I really like it, and I do find it quite amusing, even if the jump scare is kind of lame.
Is it just when he catches you, like you're going through the actual levels as like Tails, and then he's running after you?
Yeah, but the level's literally like you just walk from one side sort of to the other, you jump a little. Like it's not really meant to simulate an actual level of Sonic. Like, it looks like it, but like it's very short, and then the music sort of is all funny anyway. But definitely one of the cringiest, and tons of fan games you could just go on. There's Tails.exe, like I shout out Lynx4. He like does so many Sonic.exe fan games. I think he still does them now. So he's got all the fan games down on his channel. So go and check him out if you like Sonic.exe.
Yeah, no, it's so interesting that it's just like, I think we had talked about this on a different episode, but how like children want to be scared, so they find the most interesting ways to like manipulate like the worlds that they already know in terms of video games, like turning Sonic into a horror game for no reason other than it's like, oh my gosh, he's chasing you. I don't know. It's interesting how like these all came about in the mindset of like a kid making it up, I guess. Which is,
I'm pretty sure it's the first creepypasta that I ever discovered, that I found out about. It wasn't at the time it was created either. Like, I found out about it much later. But it's definitely. I think it was definitely the first one that I found, if you like.
Yeah, I feel well, I didn't say this at the beginning, but I feel left out because like I don't think I really was on the creepypasta train for a while until like later on when I became a YouTuber. Like, I didn't have like a kid version of this at all. So like when I heard about all the creepypastas, I was like, not necessarily scared or anything. I feel like I missed out on a nostalgia train once again because of this, just because I didn't get the chance to look at it.
I get what you mean, but it only takes like one day. You can sort of catch up on all of the
Oh, I know. I don't mean like not
yeah.
knowing about it, more like being there as like a kid, or being there as like believing it's believable. Like I said with Lavender Town, like I heard about it way later on. I didn't know about it when the game came out, like when I was actually a kid. Like, I heard about it like a few years ago. I was like, oh, that's funny. That's a weird creepypasta thing.
That could be fun. To be
Yeah, but
yeah, at that time. Yeah.
moving on. Another one that is also sort of cringe and also sort of stupid at the same time is we just really quick talk about Hero Brian in Minecraft, who is, of course, if you don't know, the creators of Minecraft, they update the game periodically, and every time that they update the game, there is a list that says all the things that they did, and at the very end of the list, it always says, didn't remove Hero Brian or couldn't remove Hero Brian. Is that the exact words, Jax? It says like...
I only know like what it is. I don't actually know the actual creepypasta. I just know it's a weird looking Minecraft Steve, and it sounds like is it a pig? Like, what's the noise it's meant to make?
I don't know
it's like a Minecraft pig or a cow or something. It's weird. Makes a weird animal noise. But
the whole aspect of him in Minecraft is a little creepy, because if you've played Minecraft by yourself at all, it's beautiful. It is really beautiful. However, it's very lonely. The world can seem very empty, especially when you're like deep underground mining. And so the horror aspect behind this is that you're not alone in the world. There is someone stalking you and looking for you, and he looks exactly like you. And it's just a creepy thing that the creators, just made it an ongoing running gag that this is a thing in the game that has happened to a select number of people, and that's where the creepypasta originated from.
So the creators actually put that into all of their update. They put this random thing in, so they kind of created it in a way.
Well, it's not in the game, but they're not denying that it doesn't exist.
No, but they put the writing in the update.
And they did literally write in the update at the end of the list.
That's really cool.
It's right?
Because they could do that one time.
Yeah.
Like, you could be like, oh, in 0.00001% of games, Hero Brian appears and kills you. Could you imagine?
No.
Being that 0.0, that like one time that would happen in a year or something.
I know someone's going to make fun of me for saying this, but I think Minecraft can be a horror game.
Yeah,
I think it can be a horror game, honestly. I've gotten scared so many times in Minecraft. Like, the ambient noises are just freaky sometimes. And, like, you can get jump scares from mobs. Like, it's a thing. But imagine a sentient mob coming after you. That's terrifying.
You wanna amp it up? Just get some mods.
Oh my god!
There
are Hero Brian mods out there.
Mods. Oh yeah, no, there are. There are some mods to make like the enemies like much scarier, like for real. There was a point where I was modding Minecraft. I couldn't quite. I sort of was going to do it for a day basically, and I couldn't quite work it out. But the mods that were there for basically making it a horror game. Oh. Very scary.
What were they? Do you remember? Like, did they reskin them completely?
There was one that just made the mobs like much bigger and turn them into like sort of four-legged, like creepy beast with like gaping mouths and stuff. It just basically turned all of them really, really scary.
Eldritch horror like.
Yeah, your H.P. Lovecraftian beings and stuff. Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh wow.
Not made them proper creepy.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Do you know what else is creepy though, dude?
What else? Tell me.
It's the Backrooms.
Oh, you mean my favorite creepypasta of all time and my favorite internet lore? Yeah, the Backrooms. I love them. I might even finish recording a Backrooms game right after.
It's much more. Well, I say it's much more recent. The original creepypasta, if you're unaware, that someone started a thread on 4chan's paranormal themed board about posting disquieting images that just feel off. And if you know anything about the Backrooms, you'd have seen that image that is just off of the carpeted open room with yellow wallpaper and fluorescent lights on a quote-unquote, I didn't know this was a thing, Dutch angle.
Dutch angle?
It's called the Dutch angle.
Interesting.
And it said it was not known where the photo was taken, but it appeared in an earlier thread as well. And then sort of later on, it's this specific paragraph that people have sort of attributed to the backrooms, and it's like, if you're not careful and you notice out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure heard you.
Yeah.
You know, that just sets the tone for what the Backrooms is.
And if you want to listen to more about that, we do have a full podcast episode on the Backrooms.
Oh, a full episode about the Backrooms.
We do.
But as that focuses a lot on, as I say, the more recent of Kane Pixel's, the Backrooms found footage videos, which really just kind of blew up the Backrooms in terms of its sort of internet lore and stuff, and it's taken on its own. It's taken on much more of a community than what the original Creepypasta did. For me, the Backrooms, and I said this in that video, it's like what the SCP sort of lore and world is. That is essentially what the Backrooms has become. It's got like a whole community of like adding new levels to the Backrooms, like new floors and all that sort of stuff, new monsters, and so it's sort of become its own. It's like an enigma.
It's its own creative universe, which is completely open, and it can be whatever you want it to be. Because like you can essentially be like, oh, this floor exists, and the whole lore behind the Backrooms is like it's a mystery. So therefore it's like, oh, it could exist in the universe, it could fit in there. They're all basically pocket dimensions. So I feel like it's very clever how the Backrooms lore could essentially be anything, pretty much. So anyone's lore could fit into the original lore of the Creepypasta, which is very cool. Just going briefly off topic, Jax, did you see Kane Pixel's latest video? His little side project?
I heard he's done as I say, I heard it was like a new thing.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's pretty good. So there's 2 videos for it so far. I don't know if it's only just going to be these 2 videos because of the way the second video ends. But the first one is called The Oldest View Beneath the Earth. And just to give you a teaser for it, it's like him in the real world, and he's just like taking a walk, and then he finds like this abandoned like door, and he ends up like opening it. And then, like, he just sees, like, this infinite hallway that is going all the way down. And then he just, like, adventures down there. And then he finds, like, an abandoned mall. Like, thousands of feet, like, below ground. And it's pretty good. I would watch it if I were you. I'm just saying. But the second episode just came out recently, like, 6 days ago. At the time of the recording. And I thought it was really good. So, I would recommend it. It's very...
Okay.
It's Backrooms-esque, which I think is smart of him to capitalize on, but it's its own sort of story, different story behind it. And I don't understand how he filmed it. I don't fully understand how he filmed it. He must have rented out a mall or something. You'll have to give me your thoughts once you actually watch it.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look. Maybe I'll watch it for Halloween.
Yeah, because I knew like his Backrooms series, most of it's just really well done Blender CGI or something like that. I think like most of it is just him creating it, and I can see a couple of shots in that in this other series, but some of it I'm like, I think that's a real place. I don't understand how I'm looking at this right now. And then like he blends his effects into it, and it's, I don't know, it's a really creepy 40 minutes for the second episode. So just want to point that out to our listeners and to yourself for you to watch it when you got some time.
No, that's a good one. I'll check that out. But yeah, I love the Backrooms. I think it's really cool, and it's it's definitely become a lot bigger than what that original photo at the time, was. For the record, my favourite game was The Complex.
I played that one too.
That was the one that you did. That was the one that it was the Complex found footage, because it literally looked like found footage.
Yeah, that one was.
So it looked like a game of like what Kane Pixels put on his YouTube videos, which I thought was so cool and stuff.
Yeah.
The only problem I've sort of found with it is that there was just, and I kind of get it, it was like a walking simulator, but like not enough happened from like it was just you were, and that's kind of the point of the back rooms,
right?
Which you know I get.
You wanted more
so
jump
it's like,
scares,
obviously. Well, I wanted more anything. And I understand the whole point of the backrooms is that you're you're just walking endlessly in that stained yellow carpet, fluorescent lighting, that whole area, and it just goes on and on and on. And that's the point. You slowly lose your mind. So I'd slowly lose my mind playing this game, going around all the different bloody areas, and I'm still nothing's happening. And I'm just like, oh. But so you know, it kind of did what, you know, that is the backrooms in essence.
I was freaked out.
So you know, I can't complain.
It was too realistic for me. It would look like real life through the camera. So
it really did. Like, it looked like an 80s like camera that you were just holding as you were walking around. So yeah, very cool, very cool. And so yeah, those were some of our favourite creepypastas that we just wanted to talk to you guys about. There's also a game that I sort of discovered a long time ago, because it was by a YouTuber called Yub, who was my favourite YouTuber, who did a Let's Play of it. It's called Creepypasta Land. It was originally an RPG Maker horror game by Lucas Boato. So it was basically an RPG Maker horror game that incorporated lots of different creepypastas, heavy on jump scares, but it was really good because if you didn't know about a lot of creepypastas, it incorporated loads into different ways of doing it and stuff. It was really cool, and the story that he created with it, really interesting. You know, it had like Jeff the Killer. I was
about to say Jeff the Killer's in there for sure, right?
Yeah, like there's absolutely loads, and then it kind of goes into a bit of SCP stuff as well. And I just wanted to bring it up because that was one of the things that made me get, what's this creepy, and sort of delve into the different creepypastas as well. And I then went and played through another fan version of that game, which was like a 3D version, and I played through that, which was really cool as well. So I'd say, go check them out. I think they're both over on Game Jolt if you're interested.
I
just want to bring that up.
But I don't like jump scares, so I'm gonna pass. But maybe I'll watch a video on them and then determine it from there. But yeah, good to know. Maybe people can get their lore update for creepypastas via that. So that's good. Good shout out, Jax. Good work. One more thing, that just because it's Halloween, I thought I want to talk about one more thing. I have a surprise for the pod. If you want to talk to them for 1 minute, I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah.
I gotta go get something.
Oh, okay, yeah, go, you go.
Okay,
go for it.
I'll be right back.
I'll either keep everyone busy, or we're just gonna cut this segment, guys. So you'll know if this bit stays in. So here's a cryptic caption from the original Slender for you. This was just straight off the bat, guys. So it says, "We didn't want to go. We didn't want to kill them, but its persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time. 1983 photographer unknown, presumed dead." And this was, of course, one of those original photos of Slender appearing in a what would be a normal photograph. But yes, guys, let us know in the comments some of your favourite creepypastas. We didn't get around to talking about SCPs. Some of those are very, very cool and very creepy as well. Of course, the best game I feel that's most associated with SCPs is SCP Containment Breach, which is mostly about SCP-173. If you don't know what SCP is, it is secure, contain, protect, and sort of the lore and stuff around that is that basically there's a secret organization that is protecting, securing, and containing these strange entities. and SCP Containment Breach is a very good way of sort of introducing you to it. And oh my god, Grog's got a cat! Oh my god, forget everything. I was talking about SCP and Containment Breach. Grog's got a little kitty.
Hello.
Oh my god. I was just telling everyone about SCPs and you bring in a little kitty.
Hold on.
Oh. I also, for the record, guys, Grog has just brought in a little black cat and he can't get hold of her.
She's scared. She hasn't been in my room until she's only been here once
before. Bless. You don't have to. It's really sweet. Because I also have a cat. Her name is Honey. She's ginger, short hair, and she's scared. And you will never see her on the camera because she hates being picked up. And now we're just watching Grog try and catch the little kitten. So sweet. I'm guessing about 7-8 weeks old at this point. But Grog, if you can hear me, don't worry about showing them on camera. If they don't want to be held and stuff, just let them go. Let them go. It's fine, mate. It's fine, honestly.
Come on, Amethyst.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, bless. They got a cat. I'm so jealous. I say I'm jealous. I have a cat, you know. Oh, so cute and little and pretty. I can only assume that they haven't had them long, and that was the announcement.
Ah.
Oh,
there we go. Okay,
she's scared, isn't she?
She is. She's okay. Hey, yeah, I got big deal. I got a cat this Friday on Friday the 13th. I got a little black cat.
A black cat.
Her name is Amethyst. She's very small.
Amethyst, like the ore.
Yeah, it's purple, but we just thought the name was cute.
But
she's so small. She's
how many weeks?
10.
10 weeks.
She's still getting used to us,
cats.
but just wanted to show her she's so adorable.
Fair play. At least she's letting you hold her, despite the runaround, which was, by the way, I was commentating on the whole thing. You have to leave the whole thing.
I will leave the whole.
It's great.
No,
she's adorable.
She is, and she's been amazing so far. She's super smart, and she loves to cuddle, but she's still running away from us just because she's getting used to us, I guess.
Yeah, But, so we had that for about 2 weeks when we first got Honey. Yeah. So
when I hold her and I'm just petting her, she purrs and she likes getting petted a lot. But she's just nice. I don't know. It's like she thinks she's getting scolded, and then when I start petting her, she's fine. But
see, that is probably longer than we've ever held our cat Honey.
Really?
She won't be held. We can pick her up for a bit, and then she'll be like, get off. She'll come and sit on us at times for an hour at a time and stuff, but she won't let us pick her up. That's why no one ever sees her on. I'd love to bring her in and show her, but she wouldn't do it, and I wouldn't want to bother her.
Yeah. I mean, I know cats can be skittish like that, and when we were visiting her, she she just seemed like a little sweetheart. So far she's been great. But anyway, I just want to, for the people that can see the video of the pod, you can see a cute little kitty if you'd like.
Is there going to be a big announcement on your channel, your main channel?
I told people on Thursday, because it all happened really fast. I've told you for a while I wanted to get a cat.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
But we were going through an adoption process for it, through what's it called? It was from a kennel, I guess, essentially, or it was through a foster parent. We went through it, and they have a website and stuff, and we applied for a couple of them. Didn't get them. They found homes right away, which is great for them. And then we finally saw her, and we went to go see her on. That was last Saturday, I think. Yeah, last Saturday or last Sunday. And we saw her and one of her brothers, and she was the chiller one, and she was so smart. She went to the litter box while we were there, and I was like, well, smart little cutie.
Yeah. I get you.
So, it all happened really fast this week. This whole week was terrible because I just wanted work to be done so I could get my cat on Friday, and then, here we are now. But
Oh,
Good.
man,
We're
that's so
we're both
lovely.
cat dads now as well.
Yes, we
I
are.
know. I can finally say that.
Now you have to get the same T-shirt as me that says "Cat Dad," and then you can. It's got different. You can get different designs for like different types of cats. So I've got a ginger cat on mine, and they're like doing like a fist bump with me and the cat.
Oh, that's cute.
So you can
Yeah, I had a cat dad mug for like a few months, and finally I'm not a hypocrite. So it feels good. Feels good.
Oh, nice, man. I'm happy for you. And then, so I'm sure all the listeners are as well. Very cute little amethyst.
Amethyst, like the rock.
Amethyst. Like, yeah. Oh, very cute.
Yeah,
Love black cats as well. They don't get adopted enough.
That's what my wife was saying
Black
too.
cats.
It's so just
Yeah.
because people are superstitious, which is absurd.
I like to think of people as stupid-stitious.
They are.
Well, this is just a lovely way to end the Halloween pod with a black cat. Yeah. This is just beautiful. So, I don't think there's anything else we have to say.
Oh.
That's there's a cat, so we're just gonna focus on the cat. Anyway.
Here's your outro, just on the cat. Oh wait, no, Amethyst actually told me something. She said that you should rate the podcast 5 stars. Go on our YouTube channel if you're not. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Our podcast is on most sites, so you can find it there. Follow us if you enjoyed us, and maybe you'll get to see the cat again.
There you go. Enjoy your Halloween, guys, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you to all the listeners. Thank you to everyone who is supporting the podcast. We will see you guys next time. Until another spooky season. I was trying to do a Halloween.
You had it.
Yeah.